Oh, no doubt. We're going to get emails. By the way, my email.
You think you'll get an email? You think?
Brandon at Richter Aleworks.com.
Nice.
No, it's
Feel
not.
free to reach out to me.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's Javier.
You think you said anything this show that could be a problem for you?
Oh, no doubt.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of Hoppy Craftsmen. I'm Chris.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Nate. What's going on?
And today we are in Peoria, Arizona with the owners and brewer of Richter Aleworks. Say hello to everybody, guys.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
Go ahead and
going on?
introduce yourselves. Who are you?
I'm Brandon.
Okay.
I'm the owner with my wife over there. I guess she's being shy.
Perfect.
We know who the boss is.
That's my daughter. She's not here.
I'm Wes. I'm the head brewer.
Okay.
Awesome. So
Thanks for being on, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us
Seriously.
on, first of all.
Appreciate it.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for having
coming
us
out.
over here. It's awesome. So
Very cool. So we are all drinking. We're all drinking the same exact beer right now.
I think so.
Oh, nice.
So we are drinking the Dark Sky
Yep. Mountains of Mosaic.
Mountains of Mosaic. So
It's like it's like we didn't even mean to, and we're all going to sit here and do tasting on it.
Yeah,
Nice.
we've got 12 more to go.
Perfect.
just keep them going. Just keep pouring.
This is the place to be.
Yeah, we got time to be. So
Yeah, right. I got nowhere to be at today.
Yeah.
Right at this point.
Me either.
So, kind of want to get into basically, I guess. So you're the brewer. So we kind of get into how you started brewing, and then we can talk about your history behind why you started the bar.
Okay.
Maybe go into that. So
Yeah. How long have you been here?
I moved out here for this job in, I guess, November, but
Oh, nice.
I've been brewing professionally for about 6 years, give or take, in Colorado. I'm from Colorado.
Okay. Killer.
From Denver, so I started off at a little brew pub up in near Breckenridge, Colorado, Backcountry Brewery.
Nice.
I was there for like 3.5 years, and it was just me and one other brewer, the head brewer, and one sales guy, and that was the brewery.
Small.
Yeah, very small. And then
Nice.
from there, 15 barrel system, we did like 2,000 barrels a year.
Oh, wow.
Just mainly feeding the brew pub for skiers and tourist traffic. And then from there I went to Left Hand for about a year, which that was 90,000 barrels a year,
Wow.
mostly of milk stout.
Right.
right.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, it's left hand, right?
Yeah.
It's a milk stout production facility, essentially,
Right.
but
We won't make that.
I'm so tired of that style of beer. And then from Left Hand, I went to Dry Dock and kind of reunited with the head brewer for my first gig. And then Dry Dock, they're only inside Colorado, but as far as I know, they're the largest brewery in the state that doesn't distribute outside of Colorado.
Okay.
They do about 20,000 barrels a year. They're pretty big.
Wow.
Nice.
They have a big flagship apricot blonde, so I have a lot of diverse history, and they do a lot of fruit beers. Left Hand obviously has the nitro thing going on, so
Right.
we kind of have done everything at this point.
Did a lot of different beer styles.
Yeah.
Nice.
So is there
That's
a
awesome.
beer style that you like making more than the other one, or is that something you do not care? Or is
I mean, when you're making beer, it's all kind of the same mostly. But I mean, if I had my pick, I would do German stuff.
Nice.
Because it's harder.
okay,
But I mean, when you're making it, it's all honestly the same thing.
right?
Process.
Process is the same, yeah.
Yeah.
Very
No,
cool.
that why the reasons you came here to Richter to try new stuff. That way you guys had them out, I imagine. You know.
Yeah, and I was ready to kind of do my own thing. And, I appreciate the time I had at the larger breweries, but I think small scale brewing is more of a thing. It's more personal. I'm not dealing with machines and engineers.
Checklists. And,
Yeah.
yeah, all that fun
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh,
Very cool. So, Brandon, let's get into your history of why you started the brewery. I'm sure you've asked this question like a billion times.
Yeah,
but,
I'm sure it's a
well,
really
you know what?
short answer.
We should actually start with the normal podcast for beer stuff. What beer got you guys into craft beer is probably the best way to go. And if you want to
Yeah.
start first, and then we'll go to Brandon.
Breckenridge Ballpark Brown.
Nice.
Never even heard of that beer.
Yeah, I
I
don't-
had Breckenridge. I don't know if I've had the brown, though.
It was obviously well before the acquisition, and they have a restaurant that's like right near Coors Field, and they had a beer for it, Ballpark Brown, and
Oh, nice.
I don't know if I haven't had it in years, but I don't know if
Yeah.
it's anything special, but like
Yeah.
that was just like my light bulb moment.
Very cool.
It's awesome.
For me, it was Dogfish 90 Minute. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a light bulb kind of beer. It
Yeah.
seems like.
I know. I don't know what it was about Dogfish, but I was just attracted to it right
Yeah.
away. And I went through. I still have a bottle of I think it's like '07 old school barley wine still sitting in my fridge.
Nice.
And
There
I'm
you
like,
go.
it's like a baseball card to me now. I don't want to open it because I don't want to. It's like I don't. I'm sure it's gonna be amazing, but I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna save that.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of
Yeah.
that. It's kind of that special card to me. Even if I don't drink it, I'm gonna have it. I'm just gonna keep it forever.
Right.
Yeah, I think I have a bottle of Worldwide Stout from them for the same reason. It's
Yeah.
just sitting, just hanging out.
One day we'll get you to open it.
Yeah, it'd be like 35% by that time.
Jeez.
Those things are crazy.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I
Craziness.
should have brought it.
Good for today. Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be great. Actually, I told Jeff I had a bottle of Black Tuesday I could have brought. We could have drank that.
Perfect.
So
Thanks for bringing that.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know I was going to.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah. Oh,
Next
sorry,
time.
guys.
Next time, guys. Next time. I got 3 bottles, right? So
Yeah. So one to share, one to save. You're good.
Yeah, perfect.
that's why I got.
Yeah,
them.
those Hoppy Craftsmen, they're big on the promise, but low on the delivery.
Yeah, that's how we do it. Perfect.
I was gonna bring some of my beer, but
You were
you know,
But I didn't.
Yeah.
Here, guys.
Yeah.
You guys did all of you guys bring some beers?
Yeah, exactly. Just
Well,
did.
we actually have a whole brewery here we can actually
Yeah,
drink, right?
perfect.
So
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
why we didn't. There we go.
that makes more sense. So you said how many beers do you have on tap right now, Brandon?
Right now we have 13. We have everything is Arizona brewed.
Nice. It is a sweet looking lineup, by the way.
Thank you. It's not exactly the lineup we want it to be, but
Yeah.
we're getting there.
Right.
It's, opening a brewery is not easy, not for the faint of heart by any means.
Mm-hmm.
And
do it.
it's
Don't do it.
every day, every week, every month. We've had some kind of issue. So yeah, we're not exactly there. We thought we would have brewed, 2 months ago, then a month ago, and then
last week.
we were gonna brew on Thursday, and
Yeah.
let
Just
that-
little issues popping up.
Exactly, but right now, as it sits, we will brew on Tuesday
Nice.
and Wednesday.
And Wednesday.
Yep.
Back to back.
Badass.
Yep.
That's gonna be
12
awesome.
Yeah, so 12 days we'll be able to finally put our beer up there.
Very cool. So at that point, are you guys gonna have like how many beers do you actually plan on having once you get fully production?
Depends who you ask.
Yeah.
So
Right.
So and for me, I'm saying, oh yeah, we'll have like half of those beers, 13, 14 of them be ours. According to Wes, we're gonna have 10 to 12.
Nice.
I'm just not that creative, honestly.
I am. So hey, go make that. Hey,
Right.
go make that. There's always another beer to make.
Yeah.
Why not make something?
Very true.
Yeah. So ultimately, now we have 13 taps. Once our beers start coming online, we'll slowly start taking some of those 13, taking them over, and then once we get about halfway, so in a couple months, we're gonna add another 13, so we'll have 26 total.
Okay.
Nice.
And then the goal ultimately is to have about half of Mars, half guest taps.
Yeah, no, this is a nice place.
Thank you.
No, this is awesome. Now, you guys have brewed. Now, you get it. Now, I'm probably skipping ahead, but at this point, since we're talking about your beer, I had one. I had the Richter collab over at 12 West. I forget when I had it.
Yeah.
But that beer was delicious.
Nice.
That was an awesome beer. Now, you were involved in that beer as well?
Yeah, I wrote the recipe.
Nice. That beer was really good. I went over there for 12 West for the first time, and it was actually like my favorite beer I had out of all the ones. They had some good stuff on tap, but I was really thrilled with that beer. How did you guys get involved with me? Yeah, just to get that going. How'd you get going with McFate?
Brandon knows Steve McFate pretty well.
Nice.
We actually brewed that. I came out, I think, on November 1st. I drove out here, and then the next day we drove over there and did the beer. So I had met Adam, the brewer, for the first time that day, and I basically kind of wrote the recipe, and then he kind of did the yeast and the hops on it because I didn't know what kind of hops he had.
Right.
And then we just kind of ripped it from there. But yeah, I think I wrote that recipe while I was driving home from work one day. Brandon texted me. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna do this collab, and I need a recipe for it." I'm like, "All right, well, let's do a pale ale." And like as I'm driving, I'm just typing in like,
Yeah.
That's when I knew we had the right brewer.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
By the way, we're doing it tomorrow.
Honestly, I really enjoyed that beer. That was good stuff.
Good stuff. Yeah, I've had it at McFate, so yeah.
Yeah, it was a good beer. I was so impressed with the beer. I mean, and it was funny because we
I
were
would've been.
going to McFate, and people were coming up to us. We love your beer. Oh my God, your beer's so good. And then Steve's like, wow, your beer's like the favorite beer for all our staff right now. Like, that's cool.
It got me
right.
hyped about you guys. I was like, dang, this is good. I need to get over to Peoria. So
Yeah.
I'm glad we're here. But yeah, I'm excited to hear you guys will be doing that because if it's anything like that, it's good stuff, man. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, because the next one we did was the West Side,
Okay.
and that one was, I want to say it was almost even better. We had people come in and ask for it, And people were coming from all over the place. I'm like, how did you hear
Nice.
about it? And like, oh, somebody told us about it. And then also we started getting phone calls. And
That's got to be exciting.
yeah, it was pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
It was. And I wasn't really prepared to have that kind of,
Reaction.
I don't want to call it, yeah, exactly. That's the right word. But yeah, to people call and ask for it. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
how'd you hear about it? Well, how'd you know about it? And hey, we want to put it on tap. I'm like, I'm sorry. I would love to give you, but
We'd love to do that.
yeah. So
We want it on tap.
yeah,
over here.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like part of that thing is like how much we want to let go because we're already getting so many requests for beer.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that it's like, man.
What a nice problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sounds like a horrible problem to have right now.
That's awesome.
So it's like, well, how much we can let go? So even this first batch, people are already asking about it. Well, hey, when can we get some? When can we get some? Like,
Right. You're
well,
like,
let's see how it goes.
we need a few kegs for here first, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So I'm afraid to commit to anything because I don't want to let the beer go, and then oh man,
Keep it
we're out of it.
exclusive.
We're out of it again, and
Yeah.
then we're like, damn it.
Yep.
You can get it everywhere except the place they brewed it.
Yeah.
There's something to
Exactly.
be said for keeping exclusive to your spot for sure.
Oh yeah, and that's what it's all about.
Especially when you're making good beer like that. It's like you got to come here to grab it.
Yeah, we're the west side.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like that redheaded stepchild. So we want people to come out to this side.
Yep.
And I understand that it was kind of difficult, or even for you guys in the East Valley, you've got like
Wasn't too bad.
45
I drive
breweries
30
out
minutes to
there.
get everywhere.
That's
I drove
like
10
Nate.
minutes more just to get here.
Out of the three of us, Nate is probably the extreme furthest east from this place you
Yeah.
could get.
where do you
think it
live,
said,
like
like,
Alma
40
School or something.
Pretty much.
Like
yeah,
further,
like,
Nate's like right on the border of AJ. It's like,
yeah, we're out there in the East Valley, East Mesa representing. So, no, I think it was like 46 minutes. But even still, there's some good breweries out here just to get you out here in general. I mean, there's
Yeah, we're becoming a destination out here. We've got enough breweries out here, and we welcome more. We want to be
Yep.
a destination for people to come to the west side. We're making some good shit.
Yep.
Oh, can I cuss on here?
Oh yeah,
You can.
this is a fucking podcast. You can cuss whatever the fuck you want.
yeah.
That's
Anything
the
you
best
want.
part.
All right, cool. Because the more we drink, the more we're gonna cuss.
I was worried when I came here. I was like, no, I'm not going to swear today. It's a business. This is
Yeah,
a business.
Yeah, the more
Yeah.
I drink, the more I use fuck as a
yeah.
comma.
And
so
then
Yes.
and then Nate realized that he's Nate. And
Yeah.
it's not gonna fucking happen.
That wasn't going to happen.
Hopefully my death metal satanic kitten shirt.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't even seen that it was kittens with red eyes yet.
Yeah, there's an upside down cross on it.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah. No, I didn't realize those
Perfect.
kittens either. That's fucking rad.
it's like
So-
Lucifer.
That's a good
I like it.
So
name, trademark.
for next week, do you guys have an idea of what? I mean, you must have an idea of what you're brewing. Anything that's on the horizon? Any at
don't
least
worry-
a style maybe you're shooting for?
This podcast will be released for 2 weeks, so it'll
Yeah.
definitely be out by then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make an IPA first, and it's gonna be pretty similar to the West Side that I
Sweet.
did, but it's gonna be more pine focused instead of citrusy. And my ultimate goal is to just hope that people realize that, or don't realize that I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
That's probably a level of not knowing what you're doing's got to be good in brewing. You'd think, just as far as experimenting would go.
Yeah, it depends on the scale. If you're making a 100-barrel batch or something.
Yeah,
you
I suppose
probably
not.
know what you're doing,
Yeah.
but you have 7 barrels. I'm like, let's try it. Why not?
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
In worst case, we'll just flush it.
Yeah, down the drain. No.
1 for 2. We're okay.
Yeah,
It's a good batting average.
Yeah. Right.
exactly.
So let's get back to Brandon, and we'll talk about. So I'm sure you've been asked a billion times, but explain how this all came about. I guess is probably the best way story, because
Yeah.
reading your blog and actually kind of seeing things, it's very interesting. So I'm sure people
You don't
would love
have to
hear it.
get down to every minute detail. They can go to our listeners can go to your blog if
It
they
was
want
just a
the little.
drunken night in Belgium.
Perfect.
That's all it was.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
I love this story, by the way.
everybody's aware of this, but I fell in love drinking beer in Europe.
Nice.
I grew up in a family where alcohol was kind of like a no-no. My grandfather died of alcohol cirrhosis of the liver.
Wow.
So I mean, I just grew up. There was never any alcohol in the house. And when April and I got married, I was like, "Woohoo! I can buy beer." So we'd buy a keg. Not a keg, but we'd buy a 6-pack. We'd put it in the fridge, and we still didn't even drink it.
Right.
And then one weekend, we just watched like a marathon about traveling in Europe, and we're like, "Let's go." She's like, "I'm like, oh, okay, this sounds awesome."
Yeah.
At that point, I went into what I called training. I want to try everything I can before I get there. And so I started trying some beers, and I was like, we're going to England, let's try some beers. And I was like, this is awesome. But when I got there, the first place, we stayed right out of Paddington Station. We took the flight in, the train dropped off Paddington Station, we got off, and literally there's a pub right there. cool. We go into the pub, and he goes, what do you want? I go, I want whatever's local. And he gave me a pint. I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. It's so different than anything I ever had. And I was hooked. We went there, God, we were there for 9 days, I think. And we just, every day we were there at least once, but sometimes we were there for dinner and lunch. I was hooked. And then the next year we went back and we went to Germany. And it was like experiencing beer all over again. And I, at that point, I was really just becoming into it. And that's when I was like, man, I got to get into it. So I was trying any beer I can find, any European beer I can try. And at that point is when I met Sam Calagione from Dogfish. He used to do his intergalactic bocce ball tournament. And he used to do it at the Millennial run on Scottsdale Road. I'm a big autograph guy. I'm a big sports memorabilia guy, and I love meeting autographs. So I had his book, and I had a magazine cover with him on it. And I was out in Scottsdale. I had gone to the Giants facility trying to get some guys. And on my way back, I remember I called April. I'm like, hey, I'm just going to stop and see what's going on. We've tried for 3 years to get people to come play with us. Yeah. Our friends are cheap. Nobody wants to do it. We couldn't afford it probably. It was like $350 a person. So I stopped. I see Sam playing bocce ball. I'm like, wow, there he is. He's really playing bocce ball. This is awesome. So when he was done, he starts walking over, and I hop off the wall, and I walk down there. I'm like, hey, Sam. He's like, hey, man, how you doing? I was like, hey, I was wondering if you would sign my book for me. He's like, you know what? He goes, I got to go play a game. He goes, why don't you go get a beer? And he goes, I'll come back and talk to you. And I go, well, I didn't pay. And he goes, oh, dude, I could have got you on a team. Why didn't you ask? I go, well, I don't know. I've tried for 3 years. I have a bunch of cheap friends. Nobody wants to do this with me. He's like, you know what? Go grab this beer and this beer and this beer. You can't get them in Arizona. He goes, I'm going to go play, and I'll come back and talk to you. I'm like, nice. Cool. So I went over and got a beer and sat down, watched him play bocce ball, and he comes over. We're sitting at a picnic table. He comes down and sits in front of me and goes, what do you want to know? And I was kind of like, wow. At the time I was blogging, and I was blogging anonymously. Nice. I had a blog with a fake name because I didn't want people to know who I was. So I talked a lot of shit about people. And
Nate knows about that.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Gotta be careful, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, people listen to this.
I know, it's crazy. And people read this junk.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
God, I've probably practically failed English, and now I'm writing a blog. This is crazy.
Right.
But I remember the question I asked him, and I go, why bocce ball? And he goes, because it's the only game I could play with a beer in my hand. And I was like, wow, that's just great insight. So we sat and talked for about 10, 15 minutes, and then he took some pictures with me. And I remember my last question to him was, I go, man, I can't imagine doing this. He goes, what do you mean? I go, I can't imagine opening a brewery. He goes, let me tell you something. He goes, I opened a brewery after I think he said after I made like 11 homebrew batches in a state that it was illegal in. He goes, if I can do it, you can do it. And that just started the wheel spinning.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just hooked.
That's good motivation.
Yeah, and I was like, wow. So then I think the year after that, we went on another European trip, and we did Berlin, Amsterdam, and then we ended up in Brussels.
Nice.
And again, beer in Amsterdam, just, I got some Amstel and some funky other beers, and then Berlin was kind of like whatever they imported from southern Bavaria. But once we got to Belgium, damn, it just blew my mind. It just, oh my God. I still remember that day.
Kind of styles.
Everything was anything from some funky farmhouse ales to, stuff that was brewed by some monk somewhere that he couldn't even tell what the name was.
Right.
I was just blown away.
It was all Belgian, Nate.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
I agree, but I was in Bruges, and I had hit up a tiny little bar, and I was just drinking all kinds of Cantillon, all kinds of fruit beers like that, and like you said, Westerleven. Yeah. Humble brag.
Yeah, at the time I was
He dropped that name. You should pick it up.
Yeah. The only really name that stuck in my head was Mort Subit. I remember Mort Subit from watching Drinking Made Easy and Three Sheets with Zane Lamprey.
Nice.
So I remember when we landed, and they were, where do you want to go? I'm like, I need to find Mort Subit. So we went to this little restaurant. It's right in the town square, right off the town square, and they had Mort Subit. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. And I remember my friend was like, oh my God, this is good, because we traveled with a couple of friends. It's April's best friend from high school.
Awesome.
And he was blown away by it too. And so the next day we went back to the town square, and the town square where everybody, maybe you're watching a Travel Channel, they always go to the town square, and there used to be like the Brewers Guild, the Brewers Guild, the shipbuilding, whatever it is. But the only guild that's still left there is the Brewers Guild.
Yeah.
And so they go to the little tourist section. I go, I'm going down to the Brewers Guild. They go, wait for us. I'm like, no, I'm just in the corner. I'll be there. So I walk down by myself, and there's like statues and all this kind of stuff. Wow, this is awesome. So I'm taking pictures and selfies, and And then like, oh, you can take a tour for €5. I'm like, cool, here's my €5. And I go down and I take this little tour. They got like an old brewery from like the 1300s. And they got this video talking about Belgian beer. And then they got like a modern day brewery set up. And then when you're done, you walk down to this little tiny pub. And literally the guy standing behind like a stand. There's like 2 seats in front of him. There's like 4 tables and that's it. This little tiny thing. You're supposed to give him your ticket and he gives you 1 beer. So we do it and finally they catch up with me and we go down and we give them our ticket and we're talking and talking and talking. And so like at the time I thought, oh, I'm blogging. I'm kind of a big deal. So I tell him about it. He's like, well, I go, so what are you serving? He's like, well, I can't tell you. I go, what do you mean you can't tell me? He's like, well, whatever they tell us to serve that day, that's what we serve. He goes, it probably comes from some monastery or something. We can't tell you what it is. We can't promote any one beer. I'm like, cool.
That's so cool.
And he's like, well, here, we'll try this one. Oh my God, it's better than the other. Oh, we'll try this one. So that one ticket turned into 3.5 hours. And at one point, we became friends on Facebook, and we were lit. Obviously, I mean, he was pulling out stuff, and he starts, here, try this, and he turns around and opens up this fridge, and he starts pulling out. Here's like a 7-year-old goes. I'm like, wow, and he starts pulling all this kind of stuff. And at one point, I go, man, I don't want to get you in trouble. He was like, man, I just met you. Do you think I'm going to jeopardize this job for you? He starts pulling out 13-year-old bottles, and he starts explaining about the difference with the Belgian beers. And yeah, we just sat there for 3.5 hours and drank, had one of the best times of our life. And I posted the picture several times on Facebook, but it is like one of my favorite pictures. There's several of them. Like it's like me with our friends, April with our friends, but it's not like one of the 4 of us. I wish it was. But I remember sitting there and going, I want to do this. April's sitting across from me. I want to do this. She's like, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah.
And so our friends were like, yeah, let's do it. Everybody's drunk.
Right, of course.
I'm actually going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And so when we came home, that's when everything started. And I had a friend who was kind of a big deal in advertising, and I met him at rock bottom, and I was like, hey, man, he's like, I want to do this. He's like, and he gave me like this 10-step process. This is what you need to do. And the number one thing he told me was immerse yourself in the culture. And at the time, the Arizona culture was still kind of fresh. We're talking 5 years ago.
Right.
Okay.
I'm like,
Yeah, it's grown a lot since then.
yeah, absolutely.
Massively.
I mean, exactly. Yeah. And that's what we did. And that was that May. We went to the Craft Brewers Convention, and it was off after that.
Cool.
Nice. You channeled all that into where we stand today.
Yeah.
And that's actually a perfect time to pause if you'd like to grab
Yeah,
another
let's,
beer. We're all about taking a break here to get a new beer.
Yeah, we have no problem
So
doing
yeah,
that. So
we'll stop and come back.
all right.
All right, works for me. Dude, we've been selling the shit out of that, too.
I bet, dude. It's
Yep.
tasty.
Wrong.
You're wrong. All right, guys, welcome back. We're here for another segment, and we're going to get some nice, strong opinions this time around. I can feel it.
Ooh.
So
Well, we got 1 beer in us, so we're all
yeah, well,
ready.
now we got 2, and it's getting real dangerous. But the second time around here, we went ahead and poured the Tombstone East Coast IPA. So that's pretty tasty. And most people at the table agree. We'll come back to that.
Let's ask Wes.
We'll come back to that.
Looking at you, Wes.
Or unless we want to tackle it right now.
No, let's just get into it. This is
Well,
we've been
well,
talking about
let's-
the whole time.
Well,
Set it up.
I asked for it, or Chris asked
I
for
asked for
it.
it.
Chris asked for it, and Wes didn't seem super pumped to go over to the tap.
He
and I
loves
thought,
that
I
beer,
immediately
right,
assumed
Wes?
there was a problem with the tap, like maybe it gave you a hard time, but nothing wrong with the tap.
No, tap's fine.
Okay.
So then the rest of us asked for it.
It must be the beer. And just to describe this beer, it's like your standard juicy IPA that you're seeing on Instagram nonstop. It is really good, actually. I'm not going to lie. But I really like the fact that Wes just doesn't like it.
Oh, so
I love it when people
Because you
have strong
can't see
opinions.
through it.
This
Yeah,
kind of beer
I was
is
going to say, is that it?
Okay, I want to start off. by
Disclaimer.
saying,
disclaimer. Yeah.
Perfect,
This is
Lordy.
not. I don't know who brews there.
That's
sorry,
Wes
I don't-
talking,
I
by the
don't know
way.
who your name is.
Yeah.
This is not a personal attack. It's not a personal issue. Obviously.
Oh.
There are strong opinions on both sides of this fence.
Oh yeah.
Well,
We've
that's
talked
the
about it
fun
before.
part about, and I'll add my own disclaimer before Wes gets going, but I'd like to think that we can all have a nice, mature discussion about beer and talk about whether you like unfiltered beer or like filtered beer, because there's a lot of trends going on in beer right now, and if you can't have an opinion or if you get hurt because of an opinion, I don't
Whatever.
know, I kind of
If
question
if
you.
it's time for a mature discussion, we're going to
Yeah.
have to ask you to leave
Well
the table.
said.
Nate.
Yeah, I kind of have a problem with that. So I would think that you discussing your opinion about the style of beer should have no opinion of a brewer's personal, So just to add my own disclaimer to
So
that.
I'm guessing Wes is on team Don't haze me, bro.
Yeah, no, he wants this thing filtered up. He wants,
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
He's gonna.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
So with that, Wes, please, your opinion is respected.
Sounds like a new beer name.
I'm going to write that down right now.
Yeah.
It's already been done. I looked into it.
Damn it, for real?
All right.
So
Dude, don't haze me, brah. There you go.
I don't know. It's just like
Bruh.
Brah.
growing up over the last 10 years and learning so much about brewing and like trying to make beer like as clear as possible, especially
Right.
at a professional level.
Clarity is something you read about all the time when you're coming up in home brewing.
It's something that a lot of us take a lot of pride in, and when they're purposely adding oats and all kinds of crazy stuff, including flour.
Lupulin powder.
I will call you out personally for that.
Not a fan of
just, it looks like a fermenting beer on day 2,
right?
and I don't know. It
As
just
some-
bothers me.
I've obviously been conditioned by Instagram because I saw it and I was like, ooh, I bet that's gonna be good. I bet that's gonna be tasty. I know, and I bet you're just like, fuck you, man.
Dude, think 2-3 years ago, if you would have went into a brewery and somebody gave you one of those, you'd be like, oh my God,
What's this
wrong with
amateur?
that?
What's
You-
this amateur shit?
Yeah, you
Well,
send it back.
Right?
I would have said I'm like I ordered the IPA, not the Hefeweizen.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So
But now it's like, oh my God, now I have to order that.
well, it's the hot
Isn't it
new thing,
wild?
right? It's the news trending thing right now in
Yeah,
craft
it's a
beer for sure. It's
BJCP
huge.
Classification now.
Yep.
I get
That's
it.
true. It did get disclassified,
Yeah.
didn't it? Now that's a great question because I had a couple questions about just the trends that you do see. Do you guys give a shit about
No,
trends?
We don't give a shit about any of that.
Yeah.
No. We're going to do our own thing.
Okay.
We're not into trends. We're not about making friends or trying to be popular. We're going to do what we like. The end product is all that matters.
Right.
If people who come into our brewery like our beer, that's all that matters. If it's cloudy, if it's clear, if it's tart, if it's sour, if it's too hoppy, if it's dank, I don't give a shit. If
Yeah.
people come in and they like our beer, that's all that matters.
But you're going to decide the styles that you make. You're not going to be led as
No.
far as you're concerned.
I don't want this to sound offensive at all because I don't mean it that way at all.
Wes, you're not offensive.
I don't
He's
make
very
beer
offensive.
for beer nerds.
Yeah, fair. That's a fair statement.
They don't drive our bottom line. They don't pay our bills. They don't pay my rent. Like I will do one on occasion, sure, because we all like doing stuff like that. It's fun to have a barrel aged imperial stout and shit like that. But like ultimately, like if you're trying to cater to the 1% of beer drinkers, like ultimately, you're probably not going to be successful long term.
Right.
This, like, kind of going back to the conversation in our last podcast, asking a brewer, do you ever, like, strive for, like, a particular ABV or IBU? Do you say, I'm going to make, like, a beer that's got, like, this many freaking IBUs in it? Because we had a conversation that IBUs have been, they've become, like, a hip thing to kind of like you said, like the beer, like the beer nerds, where it's like I don't drink anything that's freaking below 80 IBUs, and I think and I kind of compared it to the Scoville scale, where you got like these hot sauce nerds that are like, yeah, it's gonna fucking blow your damn taste buds out, and there are people that are catering to it with shit like Palate Wrecker and Fatality, and they're basically like, it's got so many IBUs, you're gonna go fucking blind after like 2 of these. And again, that's an afterthought to me. I drink beer to drink beer, and IBUs and ABV are kind of an afterthought to me. Now, in picking things, like if I don't know what to get, I usually go towards the higher ABV stuff because I'm like a big beer guy.
Yeah.
But if you get a high ABV beer and it's just like in your face alcohol and it's not balanced, then screw that beer.
Didn't you read
Well,
that
that's-
article where the guy quoted Wes?
Yeah, I got called out.
That was awesome.
Because with the West side that we put out, I refused to disclose the IBUs in that beer.
We didn't know who this guy was. He's like, what's the IBUs in this
It
beer?
wouldn't change it anyway. to
And
be honest.
Wes won't tell anybody. Well, we didn't realize he was writing for some magazine. That seems to be the story of our life. We didn't realize this guy wrote for some magazine, and then his quote was, he protected the IBUs like it was some type of national secret. Like
Which isn't like entirely true. Like I tell people, if you can give me one valid reason why you need to know what the IBUs of my IPA is, I'll tell you. But honestly, like IBU is not hoppiness. There's a difference. It's
Right.
bitterness.
Absolutely.
And that, there are so many other factors involved that like IBU is honestly like a number that means fucking nothing.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
It's just a support system for the kind of style of beer you're brewing anyway,
Yeah.
depending on what the
Imperial
IBUs
stouts
are going to
have
be.
IBUs all the time. It's
Yeah.
to balance out all the sweetness in those beers.
Absolutely.
It just means I
And
love
if,
you guys.
If we put a 60, 80, 100 IBU in front of you, are you going to tell me the difference?
No,
And
I mean,
that was kind of my
you know,
point.
I
If
mean, don't
if
get me
you're
wrong.
picking a beer based on what the number is by IBUs, you're an asshole.
Exactly. And we deal with a lot of assholes. Unfortunately, we are.
I did
super
feel-
hipster, craft beer.
Looking at you, Nate.
I was gonna say I did feel challenged when you said, "Could you tell the difference?" I was like, in my heart,
Okay.
yes, I feel like I could, but
How many-
but
how many-
IPAs are my thing.
How many IBUs are in that?
It's lower,
Okay, what was the one before it?
higher.
Okay.
Very specific.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I don't know. Hang on a
50-50,
second.
I think,
Hang
at
on.
this
I'm
point.
not drinking the one from before anymore, but I would have said that one was like 70, 80 maybe. I'm not
Awesome. You just prove our point.
sure. See, was it like 50 or 60?
They call it 100.
No, really?
Yep.
No shit.
Yep, they
Okay,
call
well,
it
I said fucking 80 or 90, so 10 more.
It's 10 IBUs. Fuck it.
Yeah, tell that to the officer when
And
he
is
pulls
this
you over.
one low,
Right,
like
right.
40s, 50s?
Yeah, 40. No, it's only 50, 60.
A
Yeah.
lot of those, I don't know about this particular beer, but a lot of those New England styles are like below 20.
Right,
Right.
right.
Because you don't need it to support it, because like you said, it is to
And,
support.
it's funny. yeah, Again, our last podcast is, you get something hazy like this, and they call it, what is it, like a New England style IPA?
Nebraska IPA? Was it? No, it's
Nebraska.
That was,
Is
that a thing?
no, that was an April Fool's fucking joke.
Is that a thing?
And again,
shit,
it's
right?
It's,
You're
it's
like,
only a matter of
almost
time.
Not
Yeah, I was
even
gonna
a
say,
style,
right?
because
They're
it's
going to
like
have a Midwest IPA now.
it's a hazy IPA, but it's got more of like just a plain pale ale profile.
Plenty
and
of corn.
It's ridiculous.
I do think it's silly that they've made it its own style. Because I mean, really, I went to Maine Beer Company because I lived in Maine for many years, so I travel back there to see family occasionally. So I go to Maine Beer Company a lot, which is, I feel like with Vermont and Heady Topper and all that stuff was what really drove all that. It just seems like a different variation of an IPA, and like you said, this one just they added a bunch of shit to this particular one we're drinking. Don't get me wrong, I like the mouthfeel. I don't know if that but. It seems silly to call it its own very own thing.
Everybody's trying to put themselves on the map.
Yeah.
And so when a beer becomes popular, everybody wants to mimic it. I mean, think about when you were a kid. You're like, oh, this shoe is popular. Then it's like, depending on what I was like, oh, I can't afford that shoe,
Yeah, I
but
was
I'm going to buy
gonna
that
say.
one. Or,
Yeah.
it's some other knockoff brand. So because Heady Topper became so popular, on the East, everybody had West Coast style. On the East side, everybody was like, we need to mimic that beer now. Now everybody's trying to mimic that beer to put themselves on the map.
Yep.
I remember we were at the Craft Brewers Conference, and Greg Cook was up there from Stone. He was talking about, he didn't like it really when people would talk about, he's like, here's the beer we make. We're really proud of these. And then he would say, well, here's the beers we have to make because this is what people want. That just resonated.
It's a great
with
subject.
Me. And it's like, and he was almost against it because he's like, you know what? Make the beer you want to make. Don't make the beer just because people are telling you you need to make that beer because that's what we like. I have a lot of friends in this industry here in town. I had 5 years to live vicariously through other guys who started breweries. So we have the conversation a lot that those people who make the most noise, who, put their opinions out there more than anybody else, at that 1%. And at any point during the day, when you're sitting in your brewery or your bar or your restaurant, and you look out who's in your brewery or restaurant right now, those people who are blogging or making those opinions, they're less than 1% of your sales. 90%, 99% of the time, they're not sitting in your brewery right now. The people sitting in your brewery right now are your friends, your family, the people in the neighborhood, the people who come in because they like what you're making, they like you,
Absolutely.
you're friendly, and they like your beer.
There's a lot of people like to support local.
Bunch of surly podcasters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So just because those people are the people who make the most noise, or what's that term? Like, the squeaky wheel.
The squeaky
Yeah,
wheel.
squeaky
Yeah.
wheel gets the grease.
Exactly. You don't want to make all your beer for that. You want to make what you like. And for us, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
When we first had Wes come down here and talk to us, I liked what he had to say. I liked that he was completely honest with us. More than anything else, I liked that he was completely honest. I took him to breweries that I liked.
Yep.
And I took him to breweries that I didn't like because I wanted his honest to God opinion.
Perfect.
I didn't want him to kiss our ass.
Right? What a good interview.
Yes, and that was what was important to us. And we had another guy that we were looking at and probably were going to hire, and it just didn't feel right. And then when Wes came down, we talked to Wes. I mean, that night, literally when I gave him beer that I know I didn't like, and he was honest with me and told me, "No, this beer sucks. I don't like it." I loved it because he was honest with me. He wasn't pitching for the job. Oh, yes, I like this beer, because he's wanted to tell me what I wanted to hear. And I love that more than anything.
Yeah.
And for us, that's what it's all about. We want to make the beer that we like. We want to make a beer that's a good product. You know what? If those 1% guys that blog or talk on Facebook or any of those groups, I don't give a shit. We want to make good beer, the beer that we like, and we want to put a good product out there. Because in the end, that's what it's all about. It's about making good products, about making good beer.
Absolutely. And and not to talk shit about Tombstone, but like, I don't mind. Fuck it. Who am I? I'm absolutely nobody. I don't own a brewery. So there's no way, and there's no way that the brewer who did this thought it was original. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He didn't say to himself, "That's my own spin." It's called an East Coast IPA.
Right.
He literally didn't even try to fucking name it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whoever that person was, they just said, "No, this is like a beer you can get on the other side of the United States in 4 other states, 5 other states, wherever they're brewing." Well, excuse me, by now 1 million places. But, so I agree. It's all about brewing what you like
Yeah, there's a point
and what you're proud of.
Yeah, we run a business, so at times it's like, okay, we need to make stuff that sells.
Absolutely.
I understand that. I didn't necessarily get into this. And when I tell people this is the wrong way to put it, but I didn't get into this for the money.
Right.
This wasn't about, I'm going to make whatever's popular and I'm going to sell the shit out of it and I'm going to sell out. That is not what we're about.
Right.
We're about making the beer that we like, and that's another thing we loved about Wes, but that he didn't give a fuck about what you think that people want or people will like. He's going to make the kind of shit that he likes. He's going to make the kind of shit that we like. We like good beer, and as long as it's a good product,
Yep.
that's what it's about. And it's part of our, as owner and brewer, it's part of our responsibility also to teach people about that. So most people come in and like, "Oh, what do you have that tastes like Coors Light?" Nothing.
Yeah.
I don't have anything that tastes like that. But here, let me. Yeah. And as Wes puts it, the front door.
Yeah. No, people say, "What's the closest thing to Bud Light that you have here?" I say the exit.
Yeah. It's incredible to me. It's incredible to me anybody actually asks that question in a place called Richter Aleworks.
That
It's
needs to
like
be
we
on a shirt.
specialized in beer.
"Do you have whiskey here?" I'm like, "I do, but I won't give it to you."
There is whiskey in this building, but right.
Yeah, but that's the point of us. We're a brewery, If you want that shit, go across the street. Go
Right.
down the street to Hooters. You can get that shit all day long.
Yeah, there's no need to.
You can
serve
get a
that
bucket
stuff
of
here.
it for $10. You can go to Fry's,
Literally.
get a 6-pack of it for $6. That's not what we're about. You're here because we make specialty beer. We make one-off beers. That's why you're here.
Right.
Right.
We're not gonna cater to those people.
I mean, and that's the thing. That's what I love about craft beer in general is the passion, the spirit that people have that actually are into craft beer. That the mentality that is, we're gonna make what we love, right? Because we're passionate about doing it. And if anything you do in life, if you put all your creativity or passion into that one thing, it's the best thing you're gonna do. It's like you're not at work technically at this point. You're actually at something you love to do, right?
Yes.
So. That's amazing, you guys. That's your philosophy overall for this the brewery.
We've all had the 8 to 5.
Right.
Where'd 9 to 5
9 to
come from?
5.
None of us work 9
Bankers,
to 5. but
fucking bankers.
8
We're
to
fucking
5.
6 to 2. It's
Yeah.
bullshit.
Oh yeah.
You talked to somebody about that.
It's funny when people come in and talk to me at the. I'm working 70, 80 hours a week.
Right.
Right.
I am more happy now doing this, working 80 hours a week, than I was working 40 hours for some other guy.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
That's the great part about it, right? You do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life, is what they say, right?
I mean,
Absolutely.
We drink beer, we talk about beer, we make beer. How hard is that?
Absolutely.
It's way harder. Don't do it.
It seems like it's
Stop
hard
it.
to have an opinion about beer, and that's the thing. It's good that you guys have a fresh opinion on it, and that you will not.
No doubt. We're gonna get emails. By the way, my email.
You think you'll get an email? You think?
Brandon at RichterAleworks.com.
Nice.
No, it's
Feel free
not.
to reach out to me.
No, it's not. No, it's Javier.
You think you said anything this show that could be a problem for you?
Oh, no doubt.
Oh, fuck that. That's bullshit. Whoever's listening to that and thinks
people,
that.
the cloudy IPA thing, like people get so crazy about
Fuck
it. And,
'em.
myself admitted, too.
But I hound those kind of beers. I mean, I'm not gonna fucking bullshit you. I love that. I'm all about that. Like the hype train for those kind of beers. I hop on it regularly.
Okay,
but I also don't mind talking mad shit about it because I know it's a crazy, it's just a trend. It's just a trend that people want to hop on.
Because if we serve that to you in a can, you wouldn't know what it looked like.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's why
You're absolutely.
Well, that's what
but
Hey Topper
because I
came
can
in.
see it, I'm like, oh fuck, I bet that is good, and it was. So Tombstone East Coast IPA. Thank you.
Dude, yeah.
Well, that's
But you're a brewer and you're allowed to have that opinion. Sorry, Chris. go
No,
ahead.
I was gonna say that's pretty much that's what the great part about all this is that it's very subjective, right? I mean, we drink beer because we like beer, we don't like beer. But yeah, like Nate was saying, coming from your viewpoint, it's you're a brewer. I mean, there's things that are. I mean, we actually just brewed a beer with Historic, and when we told them we want to brew this kind of style of beer,
Thanks for the invite.
yep, sorry.
Oh, don't worry. We'll invite you to the opening. They're going to release it June 3rd, so
June
don't
3rd.
worry. about
2
it.
weeks.
I'm actually going to be up there on the 2nd for a show. So
We'll stay a night.
Hell yeah, dude.
Fucking A, that'd be awesome.
So, but we, when we said that and we told them, we're like, well, they were like looking at kind of doing that type of beer, and they didn't know a whole lot about it. And one of the things we said was like, well, you have to add, hops later in the boil, and they're like, wait, what? Like they were completely confused by it because it's everything that you make how you make this style of beer is totally against normal style brewing stand. Like what you think a normal brew should be.
Yeah.
And they were awesome about it. But I mean, we were right there, literally hopping on the hype train with Historic, where they're like, "You want to make your own beer?" We're like, "Sweet, yeah, we'd like to make one of these new IPAs that literally you see on Instagram from every brewery."
Right.
And it's like, I'm not ashamed of that because fuck
You like
it,
that style of beer,
I can't
but-
wait to fucking drink it. But I get just the other side of the coin from where you guys sit, and not necessarily it's a complete other side because you're willing to make any beer you want to make, right? It's not like you don't say no to a style, but it's just not one you're making
No,
currently.
of course not. No,
And it's not one Wes isn't interested in unfiltered shit, and that's totally
Maybe.
cool.
And ultimately too,
That should be okay.
I will say your opinion matters more than mine. Honestly, I'm just the brewer. I'm not the
I
one
hear you
paying
there.
for my shit.
Right.
So
No, we pay
I'm
them.
just-
But
I'm
as
just
someone
this
paying for
puppy
that shit, I respect a brewer though who doesn't want to make that kind of beer, who wants to make beer they want to make.
that was one of the conditions.
But
of
that's
my
what puts you on
hiring,
the
is that I
map.
would never make one of those.
Exactly.
It's those guys willing to push the envelope.
Yeah.
Dogfish wouldn't be what it was now without pushing the envelope. They could have went that route and made just commodity beer like
Right.
everybody else is making, but the fact that what they make, that put them on the map. I mean, they're expanding, they're growing at an astronomical rate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when Dogfish Head was just that little tiny brewery when they made, with reclaimed stainless that they bought from a junkyard.
Right.
It's insane.
Badass.
That put them on the map. But
That's
the
so
fact
cool.
that they did something different, I ask this question when people start challenging me at the bar about stuff. Name me 3 scientists.
They tell you this?
No,
Wait, no,
I
you-
do.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say good.
No.
Because they probably looked at you just like I looked at you, and
Exactly.
I was like,
Name,
Neil
name
deGrasse
me-
"Is
Tyson,
this a question?"
Isaac Newton, and then
Bill Nye the Science
Bill
Guy.
Nye.
Yeah, exactly. So it took 3.
Socrates.
Name me,
Done.
name me 3 artists.
Bill.
Name me 3 artists.
The guy with the blue period. He was
Oh my
very
God,
sad.
really? But you look at it, you can.
Salvador Dali,
That's okay. You
Brazzini.
can laugh. That's
Exactly.
good.
But so it's the scientist. Anybody can take a box of macaroni and cheese and follow those directions and make it on the back.
Right.
Because it tells you,
Awesome at that shit.
do
But a
this.
smart motherfucker figured that out.
Exactly. But you know what? It's the artists who took it and put their artistic spin on it that made it something special.
Right.
And those are the ones you remember. You know,
Fucker should sign the craft box.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's one of
I
those
agree,
things.
though. The jokes aside, I completely agree.
Yeah, so it's those people, and so I've had the conversation with several brewers. Is brewing a science or an art? Okay, technically it's a science,
Right.
But again, anybody you give them that recipe, whether I give it to any of you guys, follow this recipe, you're going to make that beer, and you made it
Remove the passion, remove the love for it, though. Who knows what comes out?
exactly.
I think that's where kind of it's funny because that's the kind of the side of the coin that Big Beer's on, right? I mean, they're very science. They're very. I mean, this is how everything's done. This is how you do it. And
You
like I
don't
said, you come
need
from
full veg. You don't need
Right.
actual, vegetables or whatever you were using. You need extracts. You can use instead of the fruit you were using before. You can use an extract. I've
Well,
already seen that.
you said it's a
Right.
recipe. I don't care if you can brew or not. I need your final recipe, and you can follow this over and over because we need consistency over and over again, right? But when you say with an artist,
But you need consistency at the lowest possible cost to you,
Right.
for the highest possible profit.
because you're answering to shareholders.
right. And that's
We have nobody to answer to.
that's the best part.
Spectacular.
So
Right.
yeah, so if we want to throw I don't even know, some spice or some fruit or some vegetable or whatever it is. If we want to throw that in a beer, who knows?
It's all about where you source it and where you get it. It's
I don't
all
have
about
to
you
answer.
guys.
I don't have to answer to anybody. He doesn't have to answer to anybody but me. But I don't care because I've given him free reign. I'm like, dude, throw whatever you want the fuck in there. Let's see what happens.
Right.
And that's what it's all about. But those are the people who become
Virgin Blood
famous.
IPA coming soon.
Nice.
Sweet.
You know what? Like I said,
tasty.
I don't see you wearing a Sir Isaac Newton shirt.
Nope.
This tastes
I
like
left that at
pennies.
home
But
today.
those my kids or everybody else, they're wearing a Shepherd Ferry shirt because he's been arrested, 37 times because
Are they really?
he's been out there throwing graffiti up on the street because he fought against it. He went outside the norm. He went outside that little box that everybody
Absolutely.
tries to keep you in.
Right.
And those are the people who become, and I'm not saying this for us, but those people become famous. Those are the people who make their mark on society because they stepped outside that box. We don't want to be put in a box.
Right.
We want to do our own thing. If you don't like it, that's your prerogative,
Now, 10 years down the road from Richter, you guys are doing fucking good. Okay, Wes is killing it. You guys are doing great beers all the time. It's not half and half. It's all Richter. Okay. InBev is like, okay, we need to go talk to these guys because we appreciate the beer they make and we love their fucking logo. We love their marketing. How does that? I mean, honestly, because you see it from so many angles. You're like, fuck it, money, but then you're like, no, fuck it, the principle. And then you see it from all these sides as a fan watching it. So I just have to ask. I mean, like I said, put yourself in that position. You guys are just killing it. You're not in here. You're in a place 10 times this size. At that point, InBev's just wants to put a heap of money in your lap to make you guys, and they're going to sell it to you, right? They're going to be like, no, we want you to go make your beer with this money.
Oh, this is a great question.
Where do I sign?
So, okay. So,
And that's so fucking fair.
Let me put it
That's
this
so
way.
fair.
I-
But go ahead, please.
okay, so I heard a guy make a comment one day. He goes, you've got a house, you live in it, you have no intention of selling. Some guy comes up and offers you stupid money. I heard this story one time about this guy, it was Kiki Vanderway, former NBA player, and this guy kept knocking on his door trying to buy his house. And he kept saying, no, it's not for sale, no, it's not for sale, no, it's not for sale. One day they came up and they offered him a stupid amount of money. He goes, I'll be out by the weekend.
Right.
It was Bill Gates.
Yep, there you go.
So let me backtrack a little bit.
Bill probably had the money to come.
For us,
Yeah, maybe.
I didn't get in this industry with hopes of selling out. This is not about I'm going to build a brewery, I'm going to sell it. That is not my thing at all. By doing this, I found out about my family lineage. I've had money and I've lost it. At one point, April and I were doing really well. We vacationed in Europe every year. We lived on a half-acre lot. I had a brand new BMW that I bought in Germany. I had a fucking Lotus that I bought, and it just sat in the garage. Every time I drove it, the battery was dead. It was awesome. But you know what? My perspective has changed. It's not about the money anymore. Everybody can always chase the money. To me, it's about being happy. You know what? I come here every day. I go behind that bar, and I pour beer for people. I talk to people. I have fun with people. It's a good living.
Yeah.
We're scraping by. We're a startup.
Right.
And I understand that. But in the end, it's so much more fun than if I had to punch a clock working for the man somewhere. So I will never say never, but my goal and my plan is never to sell out. I want to leave something for my kids. I remember when I have a 19-year-old son, and I grew up in a family-run business, and the plan for even with me and my dad was that I would take over the business. And when I didn't, I had some bitterness about it. And I gave him a lot of. I wanted to be an attorney. I was pre-law. I was ready to go.
Nice.
And so I was like, I could have gone that route. But my God, I have so much fun. Literally, look, we're sitting here right now on a Saturday morning. We're drinking beer. We're talking about beer. There's nothing more fun than that.
Right.
So I don't want to sit behind that bar and tell my kids, hey, eventually someday I'm going to sell this out and you guys are going to have to go find another job, or maybe you'll make enough money where you don't have to work another day in your life. That's not what it's about. My kids come in here and they have fun. They serve behind the bar. My middle son, he comes in. He does all the dishes for us. So we want to teach him a work ethic.
Nice.
We want them to appreciate what we've done. We have sacrificed everything we own. Me and my wife have sacrificed every single thing we own. Everything we own is on the line for this brewery. And so that's what it's about.
It's a family business.
Exactly. Do I have any intentions of selling? No. Do I plan on selling? No. Do I want to sell? No. I'm going to make that perfectly clear. Those breweries that sell out, good for them. That's what they wanted. Maybe they had more partners. They're still my friends.
Yep.
I'm happy for them. Awesome. Good for you guys. But that's not my intention. If somebody comes along and say one day offers me stupid money, maybe. But that is not my thing. And the fact that I think they will someday come offer me stupid money, it's not going to happen.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can't plan on it, right?
No.
But you look at you look at Wicked Weed, and you have to and that's why I asked you guys, because you have to see it from the other side of the coin sometimes. 'Cause it's like,
They built to sell.
you think so? You think they built that? They think they built that area, that built that up to do that?
From just people that I know and things I hear, like that was their plan.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I
and
can't say that for sure.
I read some blogs that they had obviously been going that direction for quite some time, and and that's all good for them. But I just had I had an owner and a brewer here. It was just it was one of those questions. It's like, because as a person, it's like I homebrew, and it's like if some guy, if I'm 15 years into it, and I'm like I actually open a brew pub, and depending on how that's going, right? It all depends on where you're at in life, but. It's hard.
I've had the
It
conversation
can
with
be
my
tough.
brother, and
It can be tough.
he says I'm stupid for not wanting to sell.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a different mentality there.
Oh yeah.
You know what? There becomes a point of successfulness. Okay, so say we have a brewery, we have a location, we have 2 locations, right?
Right.
Okay, so now I get to go on vacation. I have a decent car. I have a decent house. I'm paying my mortgage every month. I'm happy.
Absolutely.
I don't need that extra amount, because at that point, what's the difference between if I sold out or I didn't? Mm-hmm. Now I can travel 3-4 times a year instead of 2 or 3 times I'm doing. Who cares? I'm still happy doing this. And now at the time, I have set up a history for my kids. Now they have the option to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
So it's not about selling out. I would be shocked as hell if someday I ever do it. I will never say never, but that is not
you
my
can't.
point.
You
Even by saying that's making me a little sick inside.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to sell. I never intention to sell, because you know what? Oh my God, if I have 3 locations, guess what? I'll sell it. I'll split off between 3 of my kids.
Yep.
And now my kids have that ability to grow up, decide if they want to do this or not. And if they want to sell out, that's on them.
Yep.
But that is not what we're in this. I am not in this to make money. I am in this to make money, to be happy. I am not in this. It's just not a lottery ticket to me.
Right. And as it shouldn't be, but I guess I just it's great to hear your perspective on it, because I think a lot of people shit on people that do that. I think a lot of people online love to shit on brewers and owners that make that choice.
Absolutely, they do. Yeah.
Nothing to do with
It's so fucking easy, and and for me it kind of pisses me off, because it's like, fuck you,
Because we're in Arizona.
do you-
Let's not beat around the bush. 4 Peaks.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love those guys.
Well, don't get me wrong, fuck that. I fucking hate 4 Peaks, but I hated them before they sold out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I liked them. They're all been friends of mine. I love Teddy Golden. He's
And I know none of those people personally,
Yeah,
and that's completely different.
Roper, he's a great guy.
Right.
I don't blame them for what they did. They're still friends of mine. I still love those guys, and I was
Right.
still hanging out with them. I would still drink beer with them. I don't. You know what? They did what they did,
Yeah.
and I don't blame them for it. I don't think anything differently of them.
Yep.
I'm happy for them. Awesome.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure they're gonna listen to the podcast and think about. But you know what? They are
And
still.
if they do, I hate 4 Peaks, because one time you didn't let my 25-year-old brother, or no, he was like 20. That's
He
right.
was 20.
He was 20 on the patio. I've literally,
fake ID didn't work.
literally never been back
No,
since, because I saw some 12-year-olds running around on there, and they told us to get fucked.
Yeah,
and I'm like, there with me and my
Wow.
30-year-old wife, and we had her younger brother with us, and they were like, nope, he can't come in. I've literally never been back since. That was like 6 years ago. So
Yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna get texts and emails about this because. I'm
But
making
that's
these comments.
crazy.
But like I said, I'm happy for those guys.
You should-
They
yeah.
still have jobs. They
What-
made money. Good for them.
that's the right attitude to have.
Yeah, and that was maybe that was their business plan. Maybe it wasn't, but the fact that it did, you can never say never. Because right now, if I ask any one of you guys, somebody comes up and says, "Hey, you know what? I want your house. Your house wasn't for sale."
Oh yeah.
And they say, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to give you this much money for your house." You're going to be like, "Dude, I'll move out by the weekend."
Let me one up you. What if they're like, we love the way you guys do a podcast. Let us give you a filthy amount of money
Yeah.
to come do a podcast for us.
We want to give you a $500 million for your podcast.
Exactly.
You're going to start running advertisements? fuck you. No,
Okay.
fuck that.
Hey,
No,
you know
you're
what?
going to take
You
it.
can be in the next Star Wars movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Who do I got to blow
Yeah,
to make
yeah.
that happen?
Exactly.
My hand just keeps going in a signature
Exactly.
style. You just got to put paper in front of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Everybody has a price, no
Yeah.
matter what your morals
Yeah.
are,
Right.
what your goals are.
And
or
that's my big take on all these sellouts. It's like no one can blame these guys
No,
for they're doing what they do. Someone came and offered them an astronomical amount of money. Anybody put in their shoes would probably say yes.
Right.
And that's cool. I don't
Yeah.
have a problem with them doing that. But again, I feel better about
Exactly.
supporting the little guy. I feel better about paying for. Well, I'm not paying for Brandon's for the beer here, but
We're not paying
I feel better.
today, but-
I feel better supporting Richter. I feel better supporting Wilderness. I feel better supporting people
yeah.
who don't make multi-billion dollars a year.
I don't know. Speak with your wallet. And a lot of people choose to do that, but a lot of people choose to speak with their mouths. And it's like, why?
Support local, and then they get in line for BCBS every year.
Exactly. And it's
Sorry,
like,
that's
have
not
your opinions, but
No.
you know what? If you're going to literally personally attack owners, you're way off
Right.
base.
If you're
you're
the,
so far
if you're the
off.
squeaky wheel and you're doing that shit, then fucking you're not saying anything about
But
yourself.
that's the
at that
beauty about
point.
the internet. Anybody can sit
It's
behind
so
a
easy.
keyboard and say whatever they want to say.
Yep.
They're
Internet
going to
muscles.
be the first in line every,
Right.
Black
Mm-hmm.
Friday to get, Bourbon County.
Yeah.
Such
No.
So they
bullshit.
can
Over
get
that
their
shit.
Instagram
I'll put the-
pictures on it,
Yeah, I will.
so they can check into it on
Fuck
tap.
those guys. Yeah, I don't know.
I love talking to you guys.
This is great.
I
So
told
nice
you,
talking
the more
to
I drink, the
opinions.
more honest I'm gonna be. I remember the last time I bought a Bourbon County Stout, my cousin was having her wedding in Casa Grande, and I remember this because again, my family was all about non-alcohol, so they had a bar off to the side. So I remember going over to the side, and the guy goes.
Same.
He goes, we have this beer, we have Corona, Bud Light, whatever. And I was like, okay. I go, what is that? He had 4 bottles sitting there, and he goes, oh, it's this, I don't know what it's called. It's called Goose Island. I'm like, oh, really? And I go, how much is that? He goes, I don't know. He goes, I don't know, $2. I go, what? I go, really? I go, well, you got 4 bottles there. I go, how much for each bottle? He goes, I don't know, like $3 a piece. I go, give me them all. He's like,
Yeah.
really? I remember, and he poured me the one, and I remember going back to the table. I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to hide it from my nana, who's like, no alcohol. She's
Right.
telling
Yeah.
the story about she hates anybody who drinks.
Right.
And my cousins are laughing at me because I'm swirling this beer. I'm like, oh my god, this is like, this is a Bourbon County Stout. You guys don't even realize, and this shit was good.
Right.
I still have a couple bottles left, and I justify it by saying this was before they sold out.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
No, and those people who go out and search for it on Black Friday, and then the next day go on a Facebook post and talk shit about all those mega brews. I'm like, dude, you're drinking all this shit that you're supporting. Not back to Four Peaks, because again, I don't want to call those guys out because they are my friends, but in the end, I'm a locally owned brewery. Everything I own, all my 401s, all my mortgages, everything I own, I've mortgaged my cars, everything, every single thing that I could mortgage to make this place happen, I put on the line for this brewery. In the end, there's nothing more that InBev, Miller Coors wants to do than put me out of business.
Right.
Right.
And as long as they do it by paying you a fucking shit ton of money, it's okay.
Yeah, no, it's not. I don't want to sell. No.
Well, here's the thing.
And I really say that with a lot of humor involved, but no, absolutely, no one's ever. It's definitely awesome that you guys want to start out, and we'll actually probably pause here for
let's
just a quick second.
let's pause. I actually have a great thing I want to talk about when we get back.
Perfect. So yeah, we'll be right back, guys.
All right.
All right, welcome back. Another hiatus gone. We're back here to talk a little more beer with these guys from Richter Aleworks. It's been an awesome experience so far over here at Richter.
So good that Nate put the shirt on already.
Oh, immediately. Immediately.
He's representing.
I'm not going to take it off tonight.
Shit.
Or
It's not just Nate.
All the karate people say.
It's true. Jeff hopped in. Yeah, and since we're talking about karate, if anybody's heard any like key eyes or anything in the background, we're next to a kung fu
just wait for
studio.
the gong. I'm surprised we haven't heard the gong yet.
Oh,
It's coming.
it'd be nice if they do it while we're recording. Jeez.
Oh, yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah, nothing love more than a bunch of 8-year-old kids over screaming, hi-ya, hi-ya, hi-ya.
Running around with a bunch of bow stabs.
Yep.
Seems dangerous.
Awesome. Yeah, you want to go ahead and do you have any questions?
I have no idea what I was
Chris,
talking about.
Chris had, you guys might have remembered just before we went to last break, Chris had a real tasty question second you
did.
wanted to ask. He's completely forgot it.
That's an even
So,
cheaper.
Yeah.
Beer will do that to you. It's weird.
No, I actually wanted to ask Wes, as a brewer in Arizona, and it's getting competitive-ish. I feel like there's more and more breweries, probably competitive fully,
right, there is.
very competitive. As someone who has to deal with opinions and deal with places like the AZ Brewers Guild, which we all love. They put on great. They put on. It's not. that was supposed to be the least of any jokes I put up, but no, genuinely, they put on some good beer fest for consumers here. Like the Real Wild and Woody is one I will always say. The Craft Brewers Guild does me a severe solid by putting that one on.
Right.
That's my favorite.
But
They do it for you,
and I squarely
Of course.
for me. They're like, Nate Libby's coming to this shit, but
It's
no,
fucking hot out. Let's AC this shit.
yeah, but
Get
no,
extra security. Nate's coming.
honestly, as a brewer, we were talking about, do you give a shit about opinions from other brewers, other breweries? How do you operate with that? And like you said, people with what they think of your beer. How do you? How does Wes think?
Other brewers, sure, ultimately, I do care about what other brewers think.
No, he
Of course.
doesn't.
To some degree.
I'm sure we all look at our
I'll
peers.
listen to it.
Absolutely.
But in terms of things of, Untapped, Rate Beer,
Right.
stuff like that, I can't remember exactly who it was. I think it was Garrett Oliver. I can't be positive, but somebody told me once, like, there are two types of brewers. You can either be the type of brewer that is always looking on tap every night, like before you go to bed, or Rate Beer,
Right.
or like whatever you want to look at.
What did they say?
Yeah, or like who's drinking my beer, who's checking into it, what do they have to say? And so you can do one of two things with that. You can either take that to heart and actually like make all these changes to your beer to try to appease these people, or you're not going to do that. So if you're not going to do that, why are you paying attention?
Seems
to what they
dangerous
say?
to do that, right?
Yeah, it's just like so reactionary.
Yeah.
It's like it seems like I don't know. I'll look at Untapped like on a rare occasion, mostly for humor. But like honestly,
I love that. I honestly, I like that. That's hilarious
I
to me.
truly love all of you people listening. Oh my god! But like when some of the comments that I see some people post on Untapped and stuff like that, it's just like honestly, why?
Yeah, they don't know you.
It's astonishing.
Like you said, some of on Yelp they even say you're a really nice guy.
Oh yeah. There are several Yelp reviews that say that. Oh, the brewer was really nice. Well,
All credibility goes out the window at that
I
point.
was like, well, fuck you.
That's
You
good.
don't know me.
Yeah, right.
It's like 1 star.
Yeah, exactly.
Brewer was really nice. 1 star.
Yeah, Brewer's a really
you.
sweet guy.
Oh, yeah.
Really soft
Really
and
turned
warm.
me off to the whole brewery.
The new millennium, new social media generation, they look at Untapped and, you have all these people that they review movies and they review food and they review everything. And it seems like the cool thing to do is slam on everything where, you got old guys like me that use Untapped. It's like, I'm getting old. I can't remember shit.
Yeah,
I use all my
remember what I
Untapped is like my fucking beer diary. So like I
Oh, I had that
remember
beer
half the
before.
shit that I drank.
Yeah.
It's like when did I have? It says I've had this. When the fuck did I drink this?
Yeah, or somebody's like, hey, do you have such and such beer? I'm like, I don't know. Let me check.
You're like,
I rated this a
"No."
5 out of 5. This is shit. I must have been drunk when I ordered this.
I never had this beer. I've never had it. Oh, I did, and I liked it a lot.
Oh god, I remember some of those old blog posts I did. And I'm like talking about this beer that I liked. I'm like, how did I like that beer?
Yeah.
But I was a noob. So
Yeah.
I
Oh,
get
yeah.
it.
I remember
Fuck
when
yeah, we've all
when me
been
and
there.
Chris first met, we were both kind of like the craft beer enthusiasts. But craft beer, when we first met, was like a completely different
shit.
beast than it was now. And back then, I was like, Black and Voodoo is the shit, dude. You gotta have this stuff. And so now I see it at a nostalgia, and you buy it, and it's like this tastes like shitty pennies.
I remember when Tenets. The first time I had Tenets was like at Rosie McCaffrey's. I kept drinking. I'm like, dude, I smell banana in this. I taste banana in this. My buddy's like, I don't get banana out of it. I'm like, dude, you give me banana in this? I'm like, oh, this is so good. It's banana in it. I'm like, this is cool. How do they put banana in it? I even made it like a little, I don't know what they call memes now, but I made this picture of Vader holding this thing, and I took the whole quote from Mel Gibson in, what the fuck was
Say
that?
Passion of the Christ. Please say Passion
No,
of the
it
Christ.
wasn't Passion. No, what was it?
Mel.
His Irish movie about
Braveheart.
Yeah, it's a Braveheart.
Oh, Braveheart.
And I took and I rewrote it to
Yeah, there
finish
you
it
go.
will never take away our tenants because I was like, oh my God, this beer was so good because it had banana in it. I'm like, and now I drink that shit. I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong with this beer? It just changes, when you get to that point. And I'm sure there's people out there starting it in the craft beer industry, and to them, it's kind of like, oh my God, this beer's so good, this beer's so good. And then it's funny when I hear people come into our bar and they start talking about this beer they like and beer they used to like or beer they like now. It's like, there's natural progression.
Right.
And so I almost cringe. I have one friend who will not ever let me forget. Dude, I remember the time you drank Corona. I'm like, yeah, we were all young.
Hey,
Yeah,
get fucked.
didn't
It's
we
a good
all?
summer beer.
Yeah, dude, we sat in a fucking sports book for 9 hours. I mean, you almost
Yeah, what were you going to do?
Yeah.
We ran out of options.
Yeah, it was $1, dude. You almost got kicked out for fighting some guy over something. And like, we all were young and stupid at some point.
Right.
Everything changes.
I'll still crush Schlitz,
Oh God, it's so vile.
Like,
If
you
you're-
get out of there, and I'm just like, I want a full beer of something that's just light, and like, I'll crush Schlitz on
Hey,
that.
Dude, that's so
we've
funny.
all been in the middle of, we've all been in a location in our lives where craft beer was not an option. And you know what? A Corona and a lime. Fuck you.
Dude, the worst thing I do is like maybe a Dos Equis Amber when I'm in Mexico.
I know, exactly. That's as bad as it'll get, but that's not too bad.
Yeah,
Modelo
it's
Negro.
It's
I'll
like
take.
45 cents. I'm like, it's 45
Fuck it.
cents, dude. I'll drink
Yeah.
it. Get my
Yeah,
buzz
fuck
on.
it.
I'm good to
Solid,
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Everything changes. Everything
Yeah.
everything
There's something to be
evolves.
said about being able to drink 10 beers and still be walking.
Yeah.
You like to pee a
Yeah,
lot.
exactly. When there's no 10, there's nothing 10 of what we've had today. There's no 10 of
No,
those going
no.
down.
Tequila's at the end of the street in Mexico. Yeah, you just move on to that.
No.
I've almost missed so many cruise ships because I'm the last guy on the boat because I'm drinking all the free tequila.
Right. So all that is to say, screw opinions, really,
Yeah,
as far
exactly.
as brewing
Oh, I
goes.
hate IPAs. This beer sucks. You don't like
Good.
it?
I made a rye beer once. I made it a bunch of times, but at several different breweries. But I made a rye beer once, and one of the Untapped check-ins was it was a rye brown ale, so it's a little different.
Yeah.
And the check-in was, I normally hate rye beers, but the spiciness in this is really intriguing, and I really like it. I'm just like, what the fuck do you think that is?
You're like, that's the rye. And that's an
Weird.
interesting perspective from a brewer, honestly. So it's it's cool to talk to you and figure out what you think about this kind of stuff. So we appreciate your opinions. And yours as well, man.
Oh, we're very
honestly.
opinionated.
Yeah. And that's, who wants to go anywhere where they don't have a lot of opinions? That sounds fucking
And the worst thing
boring.
is your opinion, and the worst thing you want to hear is somebody telling you that you're wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody has an opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. You come into my bar, you come in to try our beer. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong.
Yep.
I'm going to try to maybe give you something you might like.
Yeah.
Maybe persuade you a little bit
Yeah.
to enjoy our beer a little bit.
Yeah, unless you're
But
really
I'm not
wrong.
gonna I'm not gonna call you stupid and go on and
the cloudy IPA.
Oh, yeah. There's no elitist kind of stuff like that.
oh that doesn't happen.
Whoa, Wes. What was that?
Yeah.
Did we got to refill the East Coast?
I
Is that the
told ya.
problem here?
I told you it's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna
So
get worse.
it's funny is Wes got us a beer and I was like, you said you want another one, and I was like, oh, what else do we have up there? And he brought me the same thing, so I was like, well, I guess I'll drink it. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
say no.
sorry, my bad. Yeah, I honestly, it is good, but so is that Dark Sky Mountains Mosaic.
Yeah. Ryan's doing good stuff up there at Dark Sky.
I'm enjoying it a lot.
Nice. Yeah, all I hear about is Dark Sky these days. So
Good stuff.
Yeah,
Good stuff from them.
Well,
Dark
get up there.
Sky and Tombstone are just killing it. And
Right.
I love the fact that we were able to set up the relationship with them and put them
Yeah.
on tap here. I'm all for it.
Are those breweries you guys like working with? I mean, are there any in the Valley you guys like working with as far as
I love nothing more than working with my buddy Steve McFade at McFade. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
him and Adam are just
I'd love to come full circle
Yeah,
again.
it
That
is.
collab. You guys kicked ass with that
yeah.
collab.
And we were so happy with it. We were so proud of it. And then me and Steve kind of have that kinship because we have the same mentor, Tom Hennessy in Colorado.
nice.
So we've got that little thing. More than anybody in Valley. Rob Berkner at North Mountain. We're just he's my best buddy. I still remember the day I met that guy, and we just clicked. We've been all over we've closed down the Craft Brewers Convention with him, and I remember shoving him to his hotel room because he was so. And he denies it.
They always do.
That's right.
Yeah, we've been to hop school together. The very, 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 very first collaboration beer I made, I was like, Rob, what are we gonna do? I was there the day when he set up his system, his North Mountain Brewery. I was there that day with him, setting up and brewing with him.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it came to that time to make that first collaboration beer, I'm like, nobody else I want to do it with. I
yeah.
love Steve, I love Adam over there, but Rob's my boy. So we made that Belgian quad. And
Nice.
I remember sitting down and going over the recipe, and we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do, and we changed it 5 or 6 times.
What was the name of the Belgian? Do you remember?
We call so this is not so we called it Saint Virilius. And
Okay.
if you Google it, you will not find it. So
Did you not know the story of this?
No, I've never heard
no,
of
I
this.
thought you asked that on purpose.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Because I've been to Northern a few times and I love their beer. They had
Yeah.
a James Brown that was delicious. So
yeah.
that's awesome.
So we kicked around the idea of trying to come up with, we went through Belgian beers and Belgian names and all these kind of things. We couldn't figure out anything. So he texts me and goes, "How about Saint Virilius?" And I'm like, "Who's Saint Virilius?" He goes, "Well, he doesn't exist." And I go, "Okay." He goes, he goes, "Get it? Saint Virilius." I'm like,
Get it?
"No, I don't." He's like, "Virile?" I'm like, so we kicked around the idea. So we kind of make it up our own saint. So Saint Virilius basically is.
Because someone already used boner ale.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the next one.
I really want to make a T-shirt out of that now, in case you're wondering.
Perfect.
So Saint Virilius, we made up our own saint. So Saint Virilius is this patron saint of panty droppers. So when we first wrote this recipe, it was going to be around 11%, and we got it down to around 9.5% because basically I burned up the food processor, processing and just chopping up all these raisins. I don't even remember how many pounds of raisins, and I think after like 3.5, 4 pounds of raisins, it just died. And so the last like 2 pounds,
Raisins seem like it'd be hard to process.
yeah, I was pounding with a hammer. I was just squeezing the shit out. My hand smelled like raisins for 3 days. It was just I couldn't get it off of it. So that was the very first kind of our beer that we put on tap here, and it was a fucking good beer. And I tasted it every step of the way. Every few days I was at North Mountain and we would try it. We would try it. We would try it. We would try it. And at one point I was worried. I'm like, wow, this is not turning out. And it was not turning out.
It was not good for some time.
Wow.
No.
No shit.
Yeah.
It's not good.
And then he finally tells me, dude, it's done. I'm like, okay. And we tried. I'm like, fuck, this is a good beer. And I remember I even took Wes. And I go, Wes, what's wrong with this beer? And he's like, nothing. This is actually really good. And we put it on tap. We sold the shit out of it, and it was gone. I was really bummed. We saved it first. We poured it as strong beer. And then he texted me one day because me and him kind of got into the whole barrel aging thing, and I'm just like super jealous over his whole barrel aging room. So he texts me one day, he goes, hey, I want to tell you a secret. I go, okay. He goes, we took some of that beer and we put it in a barrel. I'm like, he goes, I didn't think you had a problem with that. I'm like, why would I have a problem with that, really?
that's awesome.
He goes, so let's age it. Let's see what happens. So we're going to actually tap that on our 1-year anniversary.
Nice. When's that coming up?
December.
December? Okay.
Yeah. So in December we will have that same Virilius that we brewed all the way back then,
Nice.
and we barrel aged it for a year, and we'll tap it on our 1-year anniversary.
Perfect.
So mark that on your calendars.
Yeah,
in
seriously.
December.
Yeah,
Yeah.
December 2016. 2016.
Yeah, I don't even know what day it's gonna be. We'll figure out whatever day.
Too many beers.
Yeah.
2016.
2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2018. No. Yeah.
2017.
God, I don't even know.
Numbers.
God, it's not just me.
I know.
I don't know what year it
I
is.
think I'm like 5 in right now. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
It's a podcast, man.
Pop,
I mean,
Okay.
Just add a couple. You know, just,
All right, yeah.
like 8 in.
Fuck, I'm allowed to say that, right? No,
Fuck yeah.
that's what we're gonna do. We'll have that. Obviously, we'll have other beers on our anniversary. I can't believe we're planning our anniversary party already.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No.
I'm genuinely excited for the brew days you guys have next week because I'm excited to see what comes out.
I am too.
For Oktoberfest, that's all I care.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Say that again?
Nice.
Meritzen for Oktoberfest.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah,
Nice.
German heritage. He loves
Fun.
German beers. That's what sold it on me. When he told me he's like, I love German beers, I'm like, sold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
I
shit.
mean, that's our thing. I fell in love drinking beer in England, but
Yeah.
I've been to Germany twice, and I just something about the beer in Germany just resonated with me.
Yeah,
Being
it's
of
clicked.
German heritage,
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's just there's such good beers, sessionable, and there's so many varietals of it. It's just it's just damn good beer. I mean, I would love nothing more.
And what?
Which we
It's
do not
Ryan Hinskebo.
we do not abide by any means. We
I
don't-
will with German styles.
Oh, what, one of them?
Any German style we make will be purity law.
wow.
Now, oh, really? Okay. All right, so you like to stick straight to the style, stay right with it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's tradition.
Nice. Hey, I respect that. That's awesome. That's
I
killer.
do too. It's kind of news to me.
You heard it first. Exclusive Hoppy Craftsmen first.
Yeah, I guess.
Damn.
So I guess
But
we're.
that would, but if I make a Belgian beer, like I'll throw the fucking kitchen sink in that thing.
Yeah.
But if I make a German beer, I'm gonna brew it to purity law.
Nice.
But when you
Fucking
do
A.
that,
That's
does
fun.
the purity law, like, I mean, are any type of
And for our
like, you
listeners,
know,
we'll go into what
the
the
minerals
purity law-
and stuff out of the question, or do you just use like straight up Peoria tap water and jam?
God no.
So
God no.
I will adjust the water, and I don't think that's cheating the law.
It's not
No.
cheating.
No.
Peoria water.
Why would that be cheating?
It's shit.
Like I said, I'm just curious. You know, you're the brewer. I know what I know, and again, it's that thing. I know people kind of tweak the water for like English ales and all that stuff.
We will tweak the water for every style of beer that we brew.
Right.
I was going to say
I
that's
spent-
pretty standard, isn't it?
Yeah.
For you guys.
No.
No,
Really?
well, I guess they're not
I
standard.
spent a lot
but-
of money making sure that our water profiles. When I did Siebel, we spent a week talking nothing about water.
Yeah.
We're brewing.
If you-
We want to start brewing, and it was all about a week only on water.
Right.
I
But
learned
it-
such an
absolutely
appreciation for
important.
it, and it became. I was like, wow, that is really the vital point of brewing. Is that basically majority of beer is water.
If Brandon wanted to use city water to brew here, I wouldn't have taken the job.
No, fuck
No.
No,
Well, I don't
that's a-
see how you could. I
It's the
mean,
most important thing.
yeah.
Right. I mean, that's the majority of the whole beer is water. So I
Yeah.
mean, even if you definitely get into, and Nate wanted to say the German purity law. Actually, explain
Yeah,
what
sorry.
it
I was
is.
just going to say for our listeners, what is the German purity law, Wes?
Ryan Hitzgebot. So it's water, yeast, hops, barley. Nothing else is
Period.
really
Right.
allowed in. I will cheat that a little bit by creating a German water profile to actually make
I
it
understand
more
now, okay.
accurate to the region in which those styles were created.
That seems perfectly reasonable. I
Yeah,
mean,
to me, that doesn't seem like a normal
consumer.
that is a very normal thing I think
but
to
in
do.
Germany,
Right.
they don't have to do that because they live there.
Yeah, I was
They
gonna
have
say,
that water.
as a fan of brewing, I would be like, that's cool, man. That's fucking sweet
should
that you
do.
would want
You know
to.
what's funny is like go to a brewery who doesn't abide by it.
Right.
Try that beer and then go to another one that does.
Right.
I'm probably getting in trouble for saying that now.
No,
too.
but I mean,
Yeah.
that makes sense though. I mean,
Nobody's getting in trouble
like we
today.
said, the majority.
Nobody listens
you're
to
not
this,
getting
Brandon.
the text messages.
Nobody
the-
listens to this show.
The
dude.
majority of your beer is made up of water, so I mean that makes sense. That the water is one of the most important
we spent
ingredients
a-
you can
we want
do.
it to be authentic. Like,
Right.
if I'm going to make an English beer, I'm going to create an English water profile to start the base beer with. Like,
And-
why wouldn't you?
And how would anybody walk into that and not think that that's absolutely fucking badass?
Because
you know what I
they,
mean?
they didn't go to
Oh, no,
Siebel
it's
and
actually
realize
boring
it.
as fuck.
Well, yeah, I'm sure the science of it is boring as shit, but honestly,
But it's vital.
I was gonna say, as a consumer of great beer, it seems amazing.
All of us have been to a pizzeria.
Right.
Oh, it's New York style pizza. If anybody been to New York,
Right.
go to
Yeah.
New York.
Yep.
It's never the same.
No.
You always. Why? Because a lot of these breweries or a lot of these pizzerias try to mimic the water, and
Right.
it does make a difference. It absolutely does.
Absolutely.
I mean, I didn't think when I was doing Siebel that we would spend that much time talking about water.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's water.
yeah.
That was the biggest thing I took away from that class. And I talked to people about it. I'm like, no, it was just so important to me. And I was like, wow, I really never realized how important it was. Thank God I have an uncle who's a plumber and hooked me up with this guy who put this amazing system in it, and it's fully expandable. And we're already on to phase 2 and 3 of it.
Nice.
So we can make sure we mimic that water, whether it's an English style beer, whether it's a Belgian style beer, whether it's a German style beer. It's so vital, so important. Again, I fell in love with beer in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing I want more to mimic those styles. Okay, I'm going to say it.
Yes.
I don't enjoy Belgian style American beers. They're not what I fell in love with.
You don't like Fat Tire?
Allagash.
I'm sure Wes
it's New
doesn't.
Belgium.
You have any
But-
Allagash, anything like
It's-
that?
but
hit
it's
you?
New Belgium.
there are a
Oh,
few ones. There are a few out there that do a good representation of it.
Yeah.
Hops beer is unbelievable.
Who's that?
Allagash.
I know. Thank you, Wes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've been to there. Like I said, I
You can
Maine.
only get it at the brewery.
Bias.
Exactly.
I've never been.
Yes. Totally biased. Completely 100% biased.
Yeah. So there's.
But
a
I'd
lot
be
of,
interested to see someone who's smart like you, who has an opinion on that kind of thing, who's been there and had that kind of beer.
Like how all of a sudden he just told everybody else that we're dumb.
Yeah.
You're smart.
I
And you're
pretend to be
not.
on the internet.
No, but I would really be interested. I'd love to hear your opinion on that kind of because I mean, Allagash. I've been to that brewery. They try to keep it
Yeah,
traditional.
because luckily I've been all over the world. I've been all over the country, so I've been able to try a lot of these beers, good and bad, right or wrong. There's just those places you go to who just get it.
Yeah.
You know, and there's those places you remember. It's like everybody goes to Vegas. They tell you the stories about when they won. They never tell you about the stories they lost.
Of course.
You remember,
Yeah,
those, you
yeah.
remember those beers that you really enjoyed. And for us, that's what we want to mimic. We want to make sure that when you come in and tell stories about us, you had a good beer here.
Yeah. No.
And so that's why it's important for us to mimic that style and do whatever we can to make sure that we represented it correctly.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And so that's why I put a lot of money into making sure that our water profile is to the style that it should be. You know,
Yeah.
the rest is up to him. But
Yeah. No, yeah, it's all
have
on
to-
Wes
have-
after that.
I have to give him. I have to give him. Yeah, I have
It's
to
all
give him
on your shoulders,
The
dude.
ingredients to make what you know.
True. You have to
can't give him-
create that ability to have that
Yeah,
success.
I can't say here's a bunch of shit. Now turn it into a good
Yeah,
beer.
make it good.
Yeah, exactly.
And what a refreshing, because you hear about owners who don't necessarily feel that way. They're like, no, take the shit and make what you can out of it. But so it's refreshing to hear that from you.
Yeah, again, I didn't get into this to make subpar beer because, again, it wasn't about a money grab.
Right.
It wasn't about just, here, make the beer and sell it and fool the people who come over the counter who don't
Yeah.
know shit about craft beer. No, that's not what it's about. I want to make and enjoy the beer that we make.
Yep.
That's why
Absolutely.
I just didn't go out and grab some guy off the street who
Mm-hmm.
homebrewed a few batches and here's my city water and here's whatever hops I could get. No,
Yep.
we go out of our way to make sure we can get the hops we can get, the
Yep.
malt we can get, the water we can
Get that
change.
infrastructure.
Exactly, and the
When I
education
make-
and the
when I
knowledge
make
he
a
has.
German beer, I use German malt. When I make a Belgian beer, I use Belgian malt.
Right.
Like, why would you?
Yeah.
Right, why'd you-
Why would you
Yeah.
stray away from that? No.
Yeah, anybody's been to Munich, the beer's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Because that first time I fell in love with beer was in England. Mm-hmm. Blew my mind. Awesome.
Right. You trip to Belgium, you said.
Yeah, but that middle trip was Munich.
Was it? Oh, right.
And I was like, I don't think I've ever been more drunk in my life. Just drinking the amount of beer in Munich, it just hit me. Because even the second time or the third time I went back, we went to Berlin, and the beer just didn't hit me. It was not the same as Munich. I was almost disappointed. You know, it was just
Right.
it was not Munich beer. So that was almost disappointing until I got to Belgium, and then I was like, whoa, fuck, this is like just
Yeah.
different. You know, but. That whole southern Bavaria part of German style beer, and to this day, when people ask you, everybody has a happy place. My happy place is sitting
Seriously.
in a beer garden, the Englischer garden,
Yep.
drinking beer. I can't replace it. That is my happy place. Just
Beer
sitting-
people have a beer happy place.
Yeah,
of course.
And
Without
that-
a doubt.
And that is it. Even though as much as I love Belgian beer, I love English beer. Sitting at a picnic table next to a lake in the Englischer Garden in Munich,
Fucking
that
A.
is my happy place. I will, hands down. I can't wait to go back.
Yeah.
because
I'm
that is-
excited, and I've never been there.
Yeah, and that's my family lineage. You know,
Right.
everybody came from Germany, so
Right. Do you want to get in that a little bit? I mean, so kind of
Absolutely,
how
if you
that
want.
actually came about. It's again a part of the whole story of Richter Aleworks and kind of
yeah.
a super interesting whole portion of it. So
Okay, so that story came about. I'm sure most people know when we first started, we were a Mischief Brewing Company.
Right.
It fit us. It worked great. It wasn't trademarked. I did my due diligence.
nice.
It was not trademarked. After like 6 months of using it, we went to the craft beers convention, and another brewery who had a beer name that saw us. Right or wrong, whatever you want to say, they said they saw us and tried to. I was
Right.
there for 5 fucking days. Nobody. Well, anyway.
Right.
Nobody approached you.
Exactly. So I'm drinking. So here we go.
Right.
So they came back, and eventually, it was literally like 4 days after the craft brewers convention, they filed for trademark, and then they waited until they got it approved, then sent us the letter telling us they want to stop the name. I'm
Right.
like, really? So I went back to him. I called Jamil Zainasheff, asked him about his whole trademark thing with not Heretica. What's he call it? I forgot what. Anyway, but he has a trademark. What's the other brewer? The Belgian guys that he has.
Shit.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's like you had.
so he hooked me with his attorney and told me, talk to her, and he told me about, like, he's like, you know what, the craft brewing industry is really cool. Everything's really cool. He's like, because I have the trademark, I didn't care. I let them use the name. I'm like, well, that's really cool of you. So I went back to them, and before I got into this history, I wanted to be an attorney. I wanted to go to law
Right.
school. I wanted to
You
be
were
an
saying
attorney.
that.
I love it. So I was like, okay, instinct, I wanted to fight. So I tried to go back to him and talk to him and do all this kind of stuff. So I talked to him several times. The last conversation we had with him was that, he's like, you make some very valid points. He's like, let me talk to the powers that be. He goes, like, that's the wrong way to put it. Let me talk to the guys and see what they say. He goes, I'm sure we're going to work out something. I'm like, awesome, cool. So we proceeded to spend like the next year and a half, almost 2 years, proceeding as Mischief Brewing Company. And then when we became part of the Sam Adams Brewing the American Dream program, they came back and said, hey, we see that you don't have the trademark on this. Can you get it in writing before we proceed? I'm like, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
So I sent them a message and tried to pull it off and talk to them. And then all of a sudden they came back and said, we don't really want you to use the name. So they asked for like copies of our logos and colors and all this kind of crap. So I sent them this whole spreadsheet of everything have it. And then they came back as, I want you to change the name. I'm like, seriously? After 3.5 years of using this name, after 2 years of
Being
us
Mischief.
talking, yeah. I mean, we had T-shirts, we had a following, we had Facebook, we had not a trademark, we had website, everything, and I was like, damn it, this is. I was crushed,
Yeah.
So in the meantime, my dad, he calls me one day and says, hey, my Uncle Paul's coming by. And he goes, come by and talk to him. And he goes, he's really here. I'm like, it was my grandpa's brother. I'm like,
nice.
Okay. So we go by and talk to him, and he tells me this story about how the family secret was that Brigham Young was the minority partner in this brewery. And I'm like, wow, really?
That makes sense.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is kind of crazy. I didn't think much of it. I didn't think much of it at the time because we're still fighting the whole Mischief thing. So I forgot how many months it was later, he died, and I was like, "Wow, that's it's sad." I didn't really know him, so his son calls my dad and says, "Hey, I want to give you the family table." And my dad's like, "What family table?" He's like, "You don't know about the family table?" He's like, "No, I've never heard of this family table." He's like, "Well, I'm going to ship it to you," and there's a letter explains it all. So he ships the table, and my dad say, "Hey, my cousin's sending me the family table." I'm like, "What family table?" And he said, well, come on over. I've got it, and I'll explain it to you. So we go over to his house, and we're talking. He's like, he goes, this is the family table. It's this little tiny table. Looks like maybe like an end table, something like that. And he's like, so he pulls out this letter, and in this table, it explains it that, I got it on my phone. I'll pull it out. So this table was built.
That before.
Yeah. So this
Whip it out, dude. Whip it out.
So this table was built, I forgot what year it was, roughly 1883. So the story is my family came from Germany to Nebraska to Ogden City, Utah. And when they ultimately settled in Ogden City, Utah, this table was hand-built by some company, which is still, we looked it up yesterday, which is still in business today. It's one of the longest owned businesses in Utah. They had this hand-built table.
Wow.
And so this table goes to the youngest Richter male. So it went from my great-great-grandpa to my great-grandpa to my grandpa's brother, and now to my dad, because he only has one sister, and then it goes to my brother and now his third youngest boy. So in it had this letter, and it had I had seen this picture before. My aunt had this picture, and I was able to get a copy of. And it's a picture of these two men standing on the front porch of this brewery, and it says Richter and McCarty, Ogden City Brewing Company. And I never really thought much of it. I really didn't think anything about it because it was kind of almost before I just started to start the brewery.
Right.
So it has this whole breakdown. It has the original story about how this table was made. And in it has everybody that's passed down to all the years and everything like that. And it says, that this is the table. It was built by this little business in Ogden City, Utah, and that from there was passed to my great-great-grandpa, and then it was passed to my great grandpa, and so on. And inside it also had this picture that I had seen before from my aunt. I'm like, oh my God, I've seen that picture before. And so when we were fighting over the name, and I get this picture, and I was like, oh my God, they were called, Richter. And I was like,
Right.
in the back of my mind, I always had the idea that in a pinch we could change it to it. But every brewery that opens is either the last name, the mountain range, the lake, the city, whatever it was, and it just seemed unoriginal. So I really wanted to do it. But when I saw that and it said that, it was almost like the family history, I was like, why don't we use it?
Yeah, Richter's the way to go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was awesome. So I hit that. I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. So we filed the trademark, and we're in the process of doing all that. And it just worked out. And it was a great story. And then
I have to agree, it was a good way to go.
It was. It really worked out. And it was almost like a blessing in disguise in a way. So I'm really happy. I honestly had no idea. I had no idea what it was, but. My great-great-grandpa was, him and his family were all brewers in Germany. Yeah, the
Richter name just went back all the way through that.
Yeah, and then that picture, on the back side of that picture, he wrote, "This is where I was born in 1883."
Wow.
And they lived. So they lived there. That table was in there, and it pisses me off that my brother gets it. Cause
the youngest of ever, you said the youngest.
And then it goes.
I know, that's when you're telling your story, I was like, man, that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, and it's funny because I had somebody in here the other day, and they're like, "Hey, man, is that story bullshit?" I'm like, "What story?" He goes, "That story about your great-grandpa." He goes, "Is that bullshit?" I go, no, it's real. Because
straight up.
So many of these fake brewing companies, or whatever you want to call it, they're coming up with it's all about marketing. No, this shit's for real. I've got the photo, I've got everything to prove it, and I'm like, I was almost insulted by the fact that he would insinuate that I would make some fake story.
Right, just to make up some shit.
So I was like, but no, this is my family. This is my history. This is I love nothing more, and I love that. This is almost. I almost feel like this is what I was meant to do.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I
so
can see how that you go that way.
I love your blog post on that because I can't remember the name, but it's like they can't take your name or no one's going to take your name from you, and that was awesome.
That was the whole thing, and it's like I love nothing.
I think that was a Dave Grohl thing.
Exactly, that's exactly what it was, and the fact that when they took that name from me, and I forgot what it was called. It was a documentary on HBO when Dave Grohl did that whole thing, and we love Dave Grohl. I mean, R.I.P. Chris Cornell.
How can you not? I know, dude.
Dave Grohl drinks for free here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
you tried to pull. Okay, all right. I can see how you. I can see you trying to do that.
Yeah,
And
but
we'll
that
come,
quote.
We'll come through with them.
Let the Hoppy Craftsmen know when you're coming
You can't make me change
here.
my name. You can never make me change my name. It just resonated with me.
That's right. I remember that.
And I mean, I will. So the plan now is it was planned from day one, but because I knew that photo and I needed. I mean, my estranged aunt has the original. I've got the copies of it, but my goal, I want to put that on the wall because I am so proud of that. I am so proud of that. And that quote is going to go right above it because I am so proud of my name. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing more than that pride you feel that when your name is on that front door, on that sign,
I would be, I mean, this from one outside beer drinker to another. I like Richter Aleworks more than I like Richter Brewing all day.
I have heard that time and time again.
All day. Yeah. I really do. I think that's how. Richter Aleworks is a real nice, sharp name. I'm going to be honest with you. So.
I appreciate it. Yeah. And it's funny because people come in, they go, Richter, what is that? And I just assume it's my last name.
Like, that's me, dude. I'm Richter.
Yeah. And I.
Or it's Richter.
Richter.
Okay, we'll forget about those people.
In Germany, it's like I remember that very, very first time we went to Europe. That night we landed in Munich. We went to the Schneider House, and we were standing there, and it was booked. There was no place to go, and this family sitting at this big long table, and this woman looks up and she goes, "You want our table?" I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "Come sit with us." I'm like, "Okay." So it's her husband and her kid, and she's like, "Hey, you want some?" She's trying to give me food. I'm like, "No, I got some friends. I'll wait." And so we're like, cool. So they let me sit with them, and I had a beer, and then they eventually got up and left, and then my friends and my wife sat down with us, and we're talking, and then we had a lot of fun. We drank. I was like, "Wow, we're in Germany. This is awesome." We're trying all these beers, and then the waitress comes over. I went to pay, and I gave her my card, and she looks at my card, and she goes, "Richter, that's a good German name." I'm like, cool. Okay. So she comes back with my receipt, and then she comes over with a round of schnapps.
Nice.
I'm like, I didn't order that. She's like, "No, you're Richter. That's good." I'm like, cool.
It's good,
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, and was like, wow, I didn't realize how much clout the name had in Germany. And at that
Right.
point, I was just hooked. I wanted to know everything I could about it.
Yeah.
So I am so proud of my lineage. I'm so proud of my name. And just from a marketing
As you should be.
standpoint,
Right.
yeah. And it's,
As you
it's-
should be.
Yeah, it's just so cool. And I love the fact of it. So Mischief would have been a cool name, but I love the fact that that is my name up there.
There's definitely something to be proud about, but putting your name on the board,
Right.
without a doubt.
Yeah,
So, it seems like the right way to go.
Yeah.
It might have been forced, but it was honestly, it just seems like a nice, sharp name, good logo. I like it.
Yeah, it's luckily I come from an artistic background, and I had a lot of friends that helped me
Right.
out with it and stuff. So when I laid out that logo,
Yeah, it's,
you know,
it's
I
legit.
kicked around the Mischief logo so much, and I was never happy with it.
Yeah.
But the one day I drew that out, I'm like, this is just it.
Yeah.
It was just simple. It was
fit.
easy, and I loved it, and it just worked. And God, we sell a shitload of T-shirts.
Right?
People love
I'm not
the
doubt
logo.
it. I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I
they're
don't
amazing.
doubt it.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
Yeah, and I'm just so
Pick
happy
yourself
with
up
it.
a Richter Aleworks shirt.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize
They're
I was
so
going to put them on.
soft. They're so
Yeah, you're not
soft.
wearing yours.
I wanted to be like you, Wes.
But-
Wear a different shirt.
So just
I like to be a little different.
Wes has
I have satanic cats.
Yeah, I was gonna-
Wes has satanic
he's got
kittens.
kittens with little
You
red
have-
eyes on them, freaking me the fuck out
beer
over
drinking
here.
Cthulhu. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, how
Yeah.
can you not
while
like that?
cool, just no.
I was thinking I was wearing I think I was wearing a fat guy extra large T-shirt when I got here. So no, I'm happy to be upgraded to the Richter
Normally Wes
Aleworks
wears this unicorn T-shirt.
and a horse head.
Yeah.
I have one shirt that's it's a kitten riding a unicorn through space, and there's like a
Perfect.
rainbow.
A rainbow of Pop Tarts.
Yeah.
No, it's just a rainbow.
Okay.
It's a rainbow.
No,
All right.
Pop-Tart.
Of glitter.
So just to bring it up to an end here, or at least to a conclusion, what do you guys got coming up? What's up? What's on the horizon for Richter? What do we people who listen to the show? What do we got to be excited
all
about?
him.
What are we at, Wes? Where are we at, Wes?
I have the first 3 brews planned out.
Nice.
So first one's going to be an IPA. It's going to be similar to West Side if any of you guys have had that.
Tasty.
More piney instead of citrusy. And then the second one is going to be, I'm calling it a session beer.
Nice.
It's paleo.
It's basically a Vienna lager with some ale yeast, and
Okay.
it's gonna be fucking awesome.
Nice.
And third batch is gonna be a fruit beer. It's gonna be a passion fruit Hefeweizen.
Nice.
Perfect for the summertime.
Can we
All
talk
right.
about the collab?
So yeah, so collab.
Oh,
We're going to do more collabs
Yeah, that's
in
a
the
good
future.
question.
We have some in the works. We have one in San Diego with Little Miss Brewing. Shout out to Joe.
Nice.
Yeah, okay.
Just got to get as soon as we get our beers brewed, then we can, maybe
Head that way.
out there for the weekend and do some over there.
Badass.
At Little Miss, and then I've got one going next week, end of next week, with Chuck over at State 48.
Nice. That's awesome.
Doing another IPA there, and
Those guys got some killer shirts.
Yeah, we're doing another one with Rickety Cricket up north.
Rickety Cricket.
yeah. Now apparently no relation to Always Sunny.
I was gonna say Rickety
That's-
Cricket.
That's exactly where they got the name.
I was
from.
gonna say they must
No, he
have.
said they didn't though. Remember?
Really?
No, I thought he did.
No, he said that it has no relation.
I was
to
way inebriated when he told me that.
You were,
Yeah, because I
I got
remember-
excited. I was like, "Oh, Rickety Crick,
I
dude."
remember
Yeah.
being really
put you in a-
disappointed. Like you named your brewery Rickety Cricket, and you wasn't an Always Sunny reference.
we put you in a dumpster. Yeah, I got to laugh.
Yeah.
I haven't watched
That's
it, so I
awesome.
don't know what they were talking about.
Yeah, it's the homeless guy from It's Always Sunny, but yeah.
Well, he didn't start off homeless.
No.
No, that's true. They ruined him.
Yeah, so
it's
we're,
true.
Sweet D.
we're gonna do it. We're gonna do
You
it.
don't hunt a man.
Sweet D ruined it.
Sweet
Yeah,
D
that's
did it.
true.
We're gonna do a dual collab. So we'll brew it here and we'll brew it up with them.
Awesome.
They're just getting fired up there, and they kind of have the same. They're part of our Colorado Boy fraternity.
Perfect.
So they're in our family.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so whatever, we bend over backwards for those guys.
Yeah.
We have our own little fraternity in this Arizona.
As you should.
Kill, yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
there's a
everybody-
lot going on here. Stick up
Yeah.
for you. Stay with your friends.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So December we have the 1 year anniversary, right? You guys can plan that
Yeah.
out still.
Still
So
information, 1 year anniversary
and
for
then
Airworks.
if somebody wants to actually find information on that stuff, where should they look at?
Richter Aleworks, everything. Website, Facebook, Twitter.
At
Instagram.
Richter Aleworks on
Everything is
Instagram.
Richter, everything.
we
Richter
just
Aleworks.
tagged him on the Hoppy Craftsmen, so you can hit him up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
MySpace page?
Not just
Just
anybody.
space.
Is that on MySpace?
What about Google Plus, guys?
I think there is one.
Oh, good. All right. Well, we'll screw
Yeah,
it
I'll
then.
hit that sometime.
Yeah, we'll add
I don't think
that.
anybody but Justin Timberlake has a MySpace page.
No, he's bringing sexy back.
Well, Tom probably still does.
Tom loves Richter Aleworks.
Yeah, perfect.
They're buddies. All right, guys. Well,
Yeah, well,
so
I want to personally thank you both.
No, I
Seriously.
want to thank you guys. I mean, this guy we've known for a little while in
Yeah,
a roundabout way, and
Jeff's
I'm
the man.
I'm so thankful he out dad dogs me, and
Right.
it makes me so jealous that he's so much better at it than I am.
I hear you.
He's
No,
a stormtrooper, so.
yeah, Jeff is the stormtrooper. He's the man. He's the man.
I'm still
Wes,
waiting on
seriously.
Booster.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah,
Still
honestly.
waiting on Booster.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not done yet.
No. Yeah, Jeff's in the middle of another build. So
It's done. I just haven't worn it.
perfect. Oh, there you go. See, there you go. I was gonna say, I bet Jeff's
next
done.
podcast.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I bet Jeff's done.
As Booster.
I hear there's a December event going on up here that you may want to wear that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go.
Meet people at the
Jeff's
door.
like, go fuck yourself. I'm not wearing some fucking.
Will troop for beer.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, honestly, really, I had a wonderful experience.
Yeah,
having
it's been
you
great,
guys.
guys.
Thank you
guys.
so
Thanks
much.
for coming. I really appreciate it.
So everybody can catch us at the same thing. So at Hoppy Craftsmen at Instagram, our website, which is
Yeah.
hoppycraftsmanpodcast.com.
If you're interested, yeah, no, hit us up on Instagram for sure. So
Leave us an email at hoppycraftsman@gmail if you want to ask any questions for future episodes. And thanks for listening.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, guys.
I'll see
Thanks,
ya.
guys.
thanks, guys.